I never imagined one night in my late 20s would echo through my life the way it has. Back then, I'd gone back to university to work on my PhD. I shared a cramped little office with other grad students, and one of them was Jacob. We weren't close outside of campus, but we spent long days working side by side, commiserating about research struggles, and occasionally going to the university bar with a group. When Jacob finished his thesis, we all went out to celebrate his farewell before he moved back to his home country. That night, one thing led to another, and Jacob and I ended up together. It was just that once afterward, he left the country. His university email and phone were deactivated, and I lost touch with him completely. A few weeks later, I realized I was pregnant. I tried to reach him, asked around, checked with supervisors, even followed up on publications. But he was essentially unreachable. He'd given me a name that wasn't his birth name, and with such a common last name, finding him was impossible. Eventually, I had to accept that I would raise this baby alone. That's what I did. I became a parent. My daughter grew, and though I told her what I could about her dad, she always knew the truth. I didn't know how to find him. Still, every now and then, I'd wonder. When she smiled in a way that didn't come from me. When she asked questions about where she came from. Then, more than a decade later, I opened my work email one morning and froze. There was a message from our department head introducing our new manager, Jacob, with a photo, with his work history. It was him. It's hard to explain how surreal it felt. For me, that night had changed everything. It had made me a mother. For him, I assumed it was a brief memory. He probably hadn't thought about twice. Now, here he was, about to be my boss. I wanted to be professional, but I also knew I couldn't just ignore it. I spoke with my union rep, who warned me to be careful. I got advice from an employment lawyer. In the end, I disclosed the prior relationship to HR. And that's when my nightmare began. Instead of handling it fairly, my company retaliated. They started messing with my pay, my benefits, even my building access. They whispered rumors that I'd had an affair with a manager. They sent me for random drug tests that made me miss important client meetings. Every day I showed up. I wondered what trap was waiting for me next. Eventually, I cracked. Even with legal support, I couldn't keep fighting while raising my daughter. I resigned. It broke me for a while, but I had to protect my sanity. Meanwhile, I worked with a family lawyer to finally write a letter to Jacob. I told him the truth about our daughter, about the attempts I'd made to find him, about how I wasn't asking for anything from him, just that he deserved to know. Weeks later, my lawyer got a reply. Jacob was exactly as I remembered. Practical, easygoing, but stunned. He said he wouldn't take legal steps. He offered family medical history, apologized if I'd left my job because of him, and said he'd like to meet our daughter if she wanted. When I told her, she said she was glad to finally know. But at the time, she didn't want to meet him. She thought bringing him into her life might cause too much disruption. I respected that. Fast forward a year. She changed her mind. She reached out to him, and now they talk. It's awkward, sure, but they've found hobbies they share. And she's discovered siblings who absolutely adore having a big sister. As for me, I eventually found a new job in the same specialized field. After a long search, and the irony is, I now work at a competitor company. I've hired former colleagues, brought in fresh graduates, and clients are starting to switch over to us. I've become the very kind of competitor my old company pushed me out to avoid. Looking back, I see how that one night shaped the entire course of my life. I became a mother. I faced down cruelty and retaliation. And now, I'm standing stronger, with my daughter building her own connections to her father on her terms. It's messy. It's complicated. But it's ours. And I'm proud of where we've landed.